Today for math, for our new lesson, you will need a few things. Excuse me. You will need to have your lesson worksheet 41. You will need a pencil, and you will need your crayons. So if you could make sure that you have your lesson worksheet 41, your pencil, and your crayons, you will be all set for our new lesson today. Now, when we were talking last week or the week before about putting a shape into a fraction, we talked about having a numerator and a denominator. Remember that the numerator is the top number and the denominator is the bottom number. The denominator is the total number of pieces that a shape is divided into. And the top number, the numerator, what we're going to have it as which of the pieces or how many of the pieces are shaded. Okay? So, last week when we had our own little shapes out, your bags with the fraction pieces, remember that we took our circles and we split them in half into two pieces. We split them into fours, right? We folded our circle and we folded it again and then we opened it up and had 4 equal pieces. And then we also folded it into 8 pieces. And then you'll remember that we did actually cut them, didn't we? And we labeled them into fourths, eighths, and halves. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the pictures that we have here. And we're going to figure out some different things about our shapes today. So look at number 1 right here. I would like you to point to the circle that is divided into 2 equal pieces. Okay, what do we call each piece? We call each piece 1/2. I would like you to take one of your crayons and color one of the halves. It doesn't matter which color you chose. It does not have to be the same color as what I chose. Okay? And then we want to write the fraction 1/2. So to write the fraction 1/2, I need to write the 1 at the top and the 2 below the fraction bar. This is your fraction bar right here. Okay, 1 goes on the top because that's how many of the pieces are shaded, and the 2 goes at the bottom because that's how many total pieces there are. Okay, now I'd like you to point to the circle that is divided into 4 equal pieces. Point to the circle that's divided into 4 equal pieces. And what do we call each piece? We call each of these pieces 1/4. Okay? I would like you to color in 1/4. How many pieces will you color in? 1. Okay, color in 1/4. How are we going to write the fraction 1/4? Well, remember that our numerator is how many pieces are shaded in. So that would be 1. And your denominator isn't how many are not shaded in, it's how many total pieces. Total pieces. Okay, so how many total pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to have a 1 on top of the fraction bar and a 4 below the fraction bar. And then go ahead and point to that circle that's divided into eighths. That's right here. What do you call each of those pieces? 1/8. There are literally 8 pieces here. So I would like you to go ahead and shade 1/8. You didn't have to shade in the same piece as me of the pie, but you could if you wanted. How much of that pie or that circle is shaded? Well, we would say 1/8, 1 out of 8. So 1 will go at the top because that's how many pieces are filled in. And how many total pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 goes on the bottom because that is our total number of pieces. Total number of pieces goes on the bottom. Okay, so now, which fraction piece is the largest? If you're looking, you should very easily be able to see which is largest. Is it 1/2, 1/8, or 1/4? Which is the largest? The largest would be 1/2, right? Which fraction is the smallest? Which fraction piece is the smallest? 1/8 is, absolutely. Well, look at the shapes in problem 2. You're going to notice that these look a little different than the top ones. We're going to pretend that these are pizzas. How many equal pieces is the square pizza divided into? Here's our square pizza. How many equal pieces is the square pizza divided into? 4. We're going to pretend that you're going to eat one of the pieces from the square pizza. Color in the piece that you would like to eat. If you are changing your color for number 2, I'm okay with that. We're not going to waste a ton of time with it. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to actually pick this orange color. Pick one of the squares. Pick one piece to fill in. Okay. And you colored 1 out of 4 pieces. 1 out of 4 pieces, or 1/4. I would like you to write 1/4 next to the square on your paper. Write 1/4. Does yours match mine? Okay, now point to the circular pizza in problem 2. How many pieces, equal pieces, was this pizza divided into? 3. And you would like to eat 2 of the pieces. 2 of the pieces. So you need to go ahead and shade in 2 pieces. Does it matter which 2 you shade in? Nope, it does not. Okay, you ate 2 of the pieces, so you shaded 2 of the pieces in. Since you colored 2 out of the 3 pieces, or 2/3 of the circle, we need to show 2/3. Okay, so 2/3 as a fraction is going to be a 2 on the top and a 3 on the bottom. Why? Because 2 pieces were shaded in or eaten, and there were 3 total pieces to this pizza. Now, I want you to look at the rectangular pizza. How many pieces is it divided into? You need to count it up. It's divided into 12 pieces. Well, you and your family are going to eat 6 of the pieces. Maybe they're really tiny and really good, so you want to make sure you had enough to fill your tummy. So you're going to fill in 6 of the pieces. Maybe you colored yours all down the line. That would have been okay too. Okay, so you colored in 6 pieces. You could have had them spread out all over the place too. It wouldn't have mattered. You colored 6 out of 12 equal parts, or 6/12. So How many equal parts was the rectangle divided into? It was divided into 12. That needs to be the bottom number of your fraction. That goes on your denominator. Okay, how many parts are colored? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 goes on at the numerator, doesn't it? 6/12. 6/12, you guys, is the same as 1/2. As you can see, it's clearly divided into half here. Let's look at problem number 3. Problem number 3. Oops. For this one, you don't actually need those crayons. Just trying to move them out of the way, you guys. All right, so you won't need them for problem number 3. But what we do need is we do need to go ahead and take a look at these shapes. How many pieces is the circle? How many pieces is the circle divided into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's divided into 6 pieces. And how many of those pieces are shaded? Just 1. So what's the fraction that I'm going to have for this circle? How many pieces are shaded? 1. Out of how many total pieces? 6. So our fraction is 1/6. Go ahead and take a look at the triangle. How many total pieces? 2. How many of them are shaded in? 1. And so we would say that we have 1/2 of our triangle shaded in. And then let's go ahead and take a look at our rectangle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal pieces. Where does that number go? At the bottom. Number of total pieces equal. Number of the total equal pieces, or total number of equal pieces. Maybe that's even a better way to say that. Sorry, I made that awkward how I said it. The total number of equal pieces. That goes on the bottom. How many of the pieces there are shaded? 1, 2. So 2 goes on the top. Now, I'm going to challenge you, friends. There's a lot of you that are going to try to put the bigger number on the top. Do not put it on the top. There's going to be a lot of you that are going to try to take the number that's not shaded and put it at the bottom. Don't do that. It won't be correct. Okay? The total number shaded, the shaded number goes on the top to your numerator. Your denominator is the total number of equal pieces that the shape's divided into. That number is going to be larger than your top number. Okay? All right, this sheet you can save for yourself. As you can see, it's blank on the back side. Save this for yourself. Maybe put this in your red folder so that it is safe and sound and you can use it again. Why don't you go ahead and get right to your guided class practice since we're all together still. Let's go ahead and get our name on our paper. And the date. Yesterday was November 3rd, so today is November 4th, 2020. Okay? November 4th, 2020. We're going to go ahead and get started. Stephanie and 4 of her friends were playing outside. 3 more friends came to play. How many children are playing now? Draw a picture and write a number sentence for this story and write your answer with a label. The label is going to be children because the question said, how many children are playing now? So that's what your label is going to be. So here we have Stephanie and 4 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many total friends were there starting to play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 3 more friends came to join. Okay? We need to know how many total children are playing. Well, we had Stephanie and 4 friends. We said that was 5. 5 what? 5 children. And more came to play, so I have to have an addition sign. Plus sign. 5 plus how many? 3. How many total children? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what will my answer need to be? 8 children. Okay, number 2. It says circle pairs of socks. Circle pairs of socks. So a pair is 2. Okay. Now, how many socks are in the box? How many total socks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 socks. I don't have to write socks because my label was already there for me. So then it wants to know is how many pairs of socks is that? Well, the pair is the circle. So how many circles do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pairs. Now, it wants us to do something crazy. It wants us to count by 5s to find out how many toes are in those socks. Can you do it with me? So we have to count by 5. I'm just going to put a 5 at each sock as we count. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. There were 50 toes in those socks. 5, 0, 50. Okay, now we need to look at our fractions. This first one says shade 2/4, and then we have to write the fraction. So first we need to shade 2/4. Okay, now we need to write that fraction. 2/4. Okay, if you wanted to make that line yourself, you had the line here and you want to write 2/4, you can do it this way. 2 fraction bar 4. Either way is fine. Okay, now look at this middle one. It says shade 4/8. If I'm shading 4/8, how many pieces am I filling in? 4, right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we need to write the fraction. 4/8. 4/8. 4 fraction bar 8. Then it says shade 1/2. 1/2, that's one of the pieces. Write the fraction. 1 out of how many total pieces? 2. Okay, now make 73 cents using the fewest dimes and pennies. Remember, you can have dimes and pennies. 73 cents. How many dimes do I have? 7. How many pennies is that? 3. You can do the same thing with tens and ones. Make 16 using the fewest tens and ones. How many tens do I need? 1. How many ones do I need? 6. All right, friends, we have just a little bit left here. We need to count by fives, just like we were doing with our socks a minute ago for our toes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Last thing we need to do today. Find the sums. 60 plus 10. What's 10 more than 60? 70. Look at 30 plus 10. What's 10 more than 30? What comes after 3 when you count? 4. Add a 0. 40. And what's 10 more than 80? We need to use your red folder. You use your red folder. What's right underneath 80? 90 is. All right, first grade, that was a lot of hard work you just did. The backside is yours. Remember that it's November 4th. November 4th, 2020. Don't forget your name. And then you go ahead and make sure that you read all the directions clearly. Make sure you write your answer with a label. Circle the pairs of shoes. How many total shoes are in the box? Pairs of shoes, and count by fives. Down here, you're not counting by fives, you're counting by tens. Dimes and pennies if you need to, tens and ones if that's helpful. When you're done with this side, please go ahead and make sure that it gets back into your Wednesday folder.